this is really, really cool. Okay, lots of stuff going on. Look at this. I got this. $10. I've been wanting a tiny microphone for so long. Let's see what we can do. Oh my gosh, a clip. That must be the mic. Look at me, what an artist. This is super exciting. I think I can put this in here. I think. I mean, 3 seconds. It's green. Okay, I think it might be working. Let's see if this works. Let's see if it works. Okay, this is probably going to be kind of weird. Well, here we are with a microphone on me. Okay, let's see. Well, seems like I got it working, so we can pack this up. Noise cancellation is on automatically. There's a mute button on here. There are 2 mics. 2 mics. There's a mute button. It's really cool. Okay, this is actually sick, and it was $10. There's like a charging thing. There's this thing. I guess you put this in here. I cannot wait. Well, now is as good of time as any to get on the old YouTube. I'm gonna cry. This has been quite a journey. I am losing it. No, I'm kidding. I'm not losing it, but I'm kind of emotional today because this is like really kind of scary and really kind of unknown territory for me. Like, it's weird to put my focus in something like this. It's just new territory. This book will change your life. Chapter 12. Week 12 of 12. Week 12, right before the rest of your life. Where is my AirPod case? I don't know. I wish I didn't have these right here. I just want to yap, okay? I just want to yap a little bit. Can a girl yap? I found my AirPod case. I just finished Severance and I don't know if it was even that good. It was fine. It was fine. But see, look at me. Look at me saying that Severance is fine. Here, that's the reason why, like, don't worry about the stuff that you create being for everybody. like I also love that show, but here I am saying like, oh, it's just fine. When obviously it's a good piece of art. I'm just gonna make sure that this audio works. By the way, every time I record, I do a photo and then I swipe up to record. I'm in the mood. Oh, okay. So anyways, Severance is a thing that is fine. and people spent a lot of time, money, and their careers on it and made a lot, and I watched the entire thing. And here I am saying it's fine. And so I know people can say that about me and they can scroll past it, but it's hard sometimes to put yourself out there. It really is. Okay. Yeah, my business coach. So I just sent to her, OMG, I'm still right on par with The Artist Way. Week 12. Ha ha ha. This is so validating. I think I'm giving myself a headache / making myself sick. Feeling so thrown off by what some people in my life said to me last week about the optics. Oh, look at this though. I can't. I'm actually not liking that. I think that my neighbor might be able to hear me. Oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed. I hate feeling like people can hear me. It's so quiet here. It's literally so quiet here. You know what? I'm allowed to be here. I'm allowed to talk. It's like I'm FaceTiming a friend. We're just gonna keep most of this in here. Okay. This Artist Way says, oh, it's saying like a little flattery can deter you from your goal. They're like, oh no, come stay here. You're so good at it. Or a little cash of like, oh, don't leave this job. You have so much here. And I'm not trying to leave my job, by the way. I'm trying to live a fulfilled life. Okay, can I just say that I watched so many podcasts this week, and like I watched Theo Vaughn and Caleb Presley, and Theo was like losing it the entire time, like thinking that he was doing such a bad job. So I feel that. And then I watched Amy Poehler and the Giggly Squad, and Amy Poehler was saying how she'll get anxiety after performing. That's when her anxiety comes. And then like Paige DeSorbo, she gets social anxiety in general, like anxiety and wanting to do a good job and feeling bad. Oh my gosh, Paige was saying how she'll like go in a deep dark hole. I forget what she said exactly, but basically like she'll be like, nobody liked my outfit, and she'll like spiral about that. Like everyone has their thing. So when I doubt myself and see myself, I'm like, now seeing myself doubt myself, I'm like, because it's so hard to know if you are doing a good job. Like I totally feel for Theo, like you're like, I don't know what's going on, if we're doing a good job, if we're saying anything right now. So, but I feel bad because I want him to think he's doing a good job, and it doesn't help you do a better job to say, am I doing well or not, you know? Anyway, this Artist Way says, more sinister than either is the impact a well-placed doubt can have, particularly a for your own good, just wanting to make sure you've thought about this. Doubt. Oh my gosh. Voiced by one of our nearest and dearest. Okay, I'll just say it. One of my biggest fears that keeps me up at night. Whatever. Actually, I'm not. We blur out, and as recovering creatives, many of us find that every time our career heats up, we reach for our nearest wet blanket. We blurt out our enthusiasm to our most skeptical friend. In fact, we call him up. If we don't call, he calls us. This is the test. Okay, so this is the test. She talks about how, like, when you're about to get married, like, when you're all set to marry the nice guy, the one that treats you right, and Mr. Poison gets wind of it and phones you up. Like, once you're in a good relationship and then somebody calls you up, like, that's the test. And the test in this is these well-placed doubts by friends and family. So then it says, always remember the first rule of magic is self-containment. You must hold your intention within yourself, stoking it with power. Only then will you be able to manifest what you desire. In order to achieve escape velocity, we must learn to keep our own counsel, to move silently among doubters, to voice our plans only among our allies, and to name our allies accurately. Make a list, those friends who will support me. Make another list, those friends who won't. Name your WBs for what they are. Wet blankets. Wrap yourself in something else. Dry ones. Fluffy heated towels. Do not indulge or tolerate anyone who throws cold water in your direction. Forget good intentions. Forget they didn't mean it. Remember to count your blessings and your toes. Escape velocity requires the sword. I can't believe I just said sword. The sword of steely intention and the shield of self-determination. They will try to get you. Don't forget that, warns Michelle. Set your goals and set your boundaries. I would add, set your sights and don't let the ogre that looms on the horizon deflect your flight. Okay, so what is escape velocity? Let me bring it on back. So escape velocity, her friend Michelle has a theory born of long and entangled romantic experience. In a nutshell, it goes, when you're going to leave them, they know. This same theory applies to creative recovery. It occurs when you reach what Michelle calls escape velocity. As she puts it, there's this time for blast off, like a NASA space launch, and you're heading for it when wham, you draw to you the test. The test? Yeah, the test. It's like when you're all set to marry the nice guy, then the one that treats you right, and then Mr. Poison calls you up. The whole trick is to evade the test. We all draw to us the one test that's our total nemesis. A lawyer by trade and writer by avocation and temperament, Michelle is fond of conspiracy theories, which she lays out in sinister detail. Think of it, you're all set to go to the coast on an important business trip, and your husband suddenly needs you, capital N, for no real reason. You're all set to leave the bad job, and the boss from hell suddenly gives you your first raise in 5 years. Don't be fooled, don't be fooled. Listening to Michelle talk, it was clear that her years as a trial attorney stood her in good stead as a creative person. She, at least, was no longer fooled. But is it really so sinister as she implied? Do we really draw to us a test? I thought about everything Michelle had told me, and I concluded the answer was yes. I thought of all the times I'd been fooled. There was the agent who managed to undo done deals but apologized so prettily. There was the director who asked for a rewrite upon rewrite until gruel was all that remained, but who always said I wrote brilliantly, and was her brightest star. A little flattery can go a long way toward deterring our escape velocity. So can a little cash. And that's where we started this video. So more sinister than either of those, there is the impact of a well-placed doubt, particularly a for your own good, just wanting to make sure you've thought about this doubt, voiced by one of our nearest and dearest. As recovering creatives, many of us find that every time our career heats up, we reach for our nearest wet blanket. We blurt out our enthusiasm to our most skeptical friend. In fact, we call him up. If we don't, he calls us. Okay. Our artist is a child, an inner youngster, and when she is scared, mommy is what's called for. Unfortunately, many of us have wet blanket mommies, and a whole army of wet blanket surrogate mommies. Those friends who have our second, third, and fourth thoughts for us. The trick is to not let them be that way. How? Zip the lip, button up, keep a lid on it, and don't give away the gold. always remember, first rule of magic is self-containment. So that was the context. And then the little quote on the side, which I love. This is all on page 199. Quote on the side, which made me emotional today too. One does not discover new lands without consenting to lose sight of the shore for a very long time. Crazy. I like YouTube because there's a little bit of space. Something else is going on lately, and that is, as my aunt says, very uncomfortable in this new territory. Also, what am I going to talk about if not the artist way? No, I have a lot of stuff to talk about. But I recorded my whole session with my stylist, but I'm not going to be a fashion influencer because I want to share it for myself to see later and for people who are interested. But like, actually, this is what I learned from one of the podcasts, never say never, or that you can't do something. I could be one, but I don't think I want to because it doesn't energize and excite me in the same way. Yeah, so I'm liking putting myself out there, but I don't really like when people respond to it. I put a little video on Instagram and it had over 2,000 views the last time I looked this morning, and it feels like weird. I can't, and when I get nothing, it also feels weird. So, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Things that I'm learning. If I don't upload something immediately, I'm not going to. I haven't yet figured out a way to like track clips and stuff. So for the most part, I'm like uploading immediately, or like at least uploading the draft and then posting later, or scheduling. I like YouTube because there's more space. On TikTok, I've gotten into it. Great group called Supportive Creators Club, but literally just yesterday. And like the engagement thing, I don't know if I'm ready for that yet. I want to do I'll do authentic engagement. I'm happy to connect with people, but like liking, commenting, subscribing to people, like for some sort of deal that they do the same to me, like doesn't seem, I don't know. I'm not ready to do that, if ever. I'm scared to get a massage. It's been over a year. I have a place that I can go, and I'm looking at it right now because I had the tension headache earlier, which it was definitely that because I don't have it right now. I'm looking at this place, but I'm always like scared to go. Like I don't really know what to expect. I'm also thinking like, do I schedule acupuncture and therapy? But now I'm thinking, whenever I think I need acupuncture or therapy, I probably just am in a new territory and need to get used to it. Okay, I want to move. Okay, well, we're getting a little bit self-conscious about everyone hearing me in my apartment. This is what I'm talking about. Being self-conscious. Okay, picture this. My artist corner. How great will that be? Those things on the wall. A chair right here. I want to be like the kid with the magic purple crayon, whatever that show was. Man, I really want to draw with this now. I've been doing this 5-minute journal. And by I've been doing this, I mean yesterday I did it. And this morning. But no, I did it a lot last year too. I feel like the quote today was so good. What was it? Your life is a story, and the adventure ahead of you is the journey to fulfill your own purpose and potential. Kerry Washington. Could not agree more. I've really haven't used this ever. Put that up because I thought about using it, but usually I just use this thing. And by usually, I mean maybe once when the stylist was here. Okay. We're here. We're in this messy middle. I heard that when you're doing something, like, and you hit like the slow down of that messy middle, like that's when most people stop. And I can't help but think this is when a lot of people stop. And this is called being self-conscious. Being self-conscious. I kill a lot of spiders in my house, but tell me why. Yeah, what the heck? Tell me why this has been in my room for months and there are no spiders in here. Yet I've killed several. Not in my room though. Honestly, not that many in my room, so that's good. I guess that is a good thing, but it's probably just not a good place. Actually I have in my room, but over there. I'll have to move that. What was I telling you? Okay, so I'm putting myself out there online. I feel like I want to whisper about this stuff because feels very revealing. I want to do it and then act, and then I want everyone to act like I'm not. I don't know if that's true. So there are a lot of comedians that do life advice now. So I watched The Giggly Squad and Chelsea Handler and Amy Poehler. Both of them do life advice. And then I watched Chelsea Handler and Eliza Schlesinger. And Eliza also has a life advice thing. And I'm thinking, so there I am at a car wash thinking, I think I want to be a comedian, but not a stand-up comedian because I don't want to stay up late and I don't want to repeat the same jokes. But I do want to be funny. I want to riff. I want to make myself laugh. I want to make other people laugh. And a lot of the people that I look up to and I'm like, man, I want to be like them, are comedians, have life experience, or like bold, courageous, and like get back up. And they're now giving life advice / just talking about life, like the Giggly Squad and the Raina and Ashley on Girls Gotta Eat also. And then also like some people on Instagram that are just funny. Like I appreciate how real they are and how authentic and like how just like this is who I am. And like every deep dark thought in my head. Like Hannah Berner. I just saw a quote from her on Instagram about like she says vulnerability is funny. So yeah. This is making me want to walk. I wonder if I could do like a podcast. I could probably just record a whole podcast on here. I remember the next time I feel like everything's out of whack, I probably simply am in a new territory. You know what's crazy is that a few weeks ago, I was telling my coach that I was very comfortable. Just a few weeks ago, I was very comfortable on social media. I was like, I'm posting on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok all day, every day. I had put out the workshop and I was just very comfortable cruising. And then a few friends were like, hey, I could help you with the newsletter if you want. I could help you with the CRM. I could help you with TikTok. Why don't you connect with these people? And I did. And I knew that I knew that I was leaving my comfort zone. And now I'm at this new level that I've never experienced, this new territory I've never been in. And that is scary. It's really scary. It's just like, makes me feel all these thoughts and like, including like fear of like not being able to live on my own at some point in the future, because like that's a big thing I'm really enjoying and grateful for. I don't know. I just like have fears and doubts, and I just feel very like I want to grasp onto something. I'm like, that book says that I don't have right now. I'm like leaving the shore, and I'm like, where did it go? I need land. I'm not going to say this again, but sorry that I'm quiet and a little bit awkward. And it's because I'm afraid of people hearing me today, because I don't know why. Oh, I know why. It's because I can hear them, but I usually feel fine in my apartment, but I don't know. Just letting the doubters get to me. I'm so bad at keeping things to myself when I'm excited about them, but I really have to keep it to myself. Just keep going. I know what I want. I know what I want to do. I'm like steamrolling ahead, and then I'm like, hey, look what I'm doing. Like, I'm not asking. But sometimes I am like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, right? Like, I'm in my swim lane, doing whatever. Then I'm like, wait, am I supposed to be doing this? And that will catch you. That'll catch you. I'm going to get my book because there's a good quote. Oh my gosh. The resistance. Okay, yeah. This whole chapter, recovering a sense of faith. Adventures don't begin until you get into the forest. That first step is an act of faith. Creativity requires faith. Faith requires that we relinquish control. This is frightening and we resist it. Our resistance to our creativity is a form of self-destruction. We throw up roadblocks in our own path. Why do we do this? In order to maintain an illusion of control. Depression, like anger and anxiety, is resistance. It creates dis-ease. This is exactly where I am this week. Yeah, not good. This manifests itself as sluggish, confusion. Yeah, sluggishness, confusion. I don't know, it says. The truth is, we do know, and we know that we know. Each one of us has an inner dream that we can unfold if we will just have the courage to admit what it is, and the faith to trust our own admission. The admitting is often very difficult. A clearing affirmation can open the channel. One excellent guide is, I know the things I know. Another is, I trust my own inner guide. Either of these will eventually yield us a sense of our own direction, Either of these will eventually yield us a sense of our own direction, which we will often then promptly resist. This resistance is very understandable. We are not accustomed to thinking that God's will for us and our own inner dreams can coincide. Instead, we have bought the message of our culture. This world is a vale of tears, and we are meant to be dutiful, then die. This is really how I feel. Like, I'm supposed to just be dutiful, then die. Follow the rules, then die. Do what you're supposed to, then die. Do what looks good to everybody else, then die. Oh my gosh. Do what you're supposed to. Do the path that's laid out for you, then die. Sound good? The truth is that we were meant to be bountiful and live. The universe will always support affirmative action. Our truest dream for ourselves is always God's will for us. Mickey Hart's hero and mentor, the late great mythologist Joseph Campbell, wrote, "Follow your bliss and doors will open where there were no doors before." It is the inner commitment to be true to ourselves and follow our dreams that triggers the support of the universe. While we are ambivalent, the universe will seem to us to be also ambivalent and erratic. The flow through our lives will be characterized by spurts of abundance and long spells of drought, when our supply dwindles to a mere trickle. And on the side, it says, "Do not fear mistakes, there are none." So nothing that I'm doing is a mistake. Nothing is a mistake. Nothing is bad. Actually, it does say like things can be bad, but they're not mistakes. And bad is part of the process. Remember that. And like, if Theo Vaughn is doubting himself and thinking that it's bad, if like Amy Poehler, like, stop it. Or like, stop feeling bad about feeling bad and like putting yourself out there, and just, there are no mistakes. It is good to remember. If we look back at the times when the world seemed to be capricious and a capricious and untrustworthy place, we see that we were ourselves ambivalent and conflicted in our goals and behaviors. I highlighted this. Once we trigger an internal yes by affirming our truest goals and desires, the universe mirrors that yes and expands it. There is a path for each of us. When we are on our right path, we have a sure-footedness. We know the right next action, although not necessarily what is just around the bend. By trusting, we learn to trust. So yeah, I have no idea what's 2 steps ahead, but usually I know the 1 step ahead. Mystery. Creativity, like human life itself, begins in darkness. We need to acknowledge this. All too often, we think only in terms of light. And then this light bulb went on and I got it. It is true that insights may come to us as flashes. It is true that some of these flashes may be blinding. It is, however, also true that such bright ideas are preceded by a gestation period that is interior, murky, and completely necessary. I highlighted that part. Such bright ideas are preceded by a gestation period that is interior, murky, and completely necessary. Yeah, and it says like, don't like wait for ideas to hatch. Don't pull them up by the roots to see if they're growing. As creative channels, we need to trust the darkness. We need to learn to gently mull instead of churning away like a little engine on a straight ahead path. This mulling on the page can be very threatening. We'll never get any real ideas this way, we fret. Hatching an idea is a lot like baking bread. An idea needs to rise. If you poke at it too much at the beginning, if you keep checking on it, it will never rise. And then blah, 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 blah. Next page. We are an ambitious society, and it is often difficult for us to cultivate forms of creativity that do not directly serve us and our career goals. Recovery urges are re-examining definitions of creativity and expanding them to include what in the past we called hobbies. And then it talks about how like hobbies are good because for a lot of reasons, but a lot of times that's when ideas can come together too. Like if you're stuck, go do a hobby. So this is making me think I should, or I want to do a volleyball thing. And then, yeah, it talks about some other, like, the path that this could mean that you take and the things that you start to do just as you become a recovering artist. And at the end it says, you're either losing your mind or gaining your soul. Life is meant to be an artist date. That's why we were created. Geez, I have been thinking about that, how like my artist date is starting to bleed into like more days and also like more hours. and I still need to, like, I think, do them better, even though I'm glad I'm doing them. But I said in a TikTok, like, I feel like, I mean, the next one I don't want to go get a sugary breakfast because that didn't make me feel good after, but artist dates are good. Oh, I am. Maybe I'll do that tonight, honestly. An artist date tonight, go walk for 2 hours. I think I'm going to do that after this. So the tasks this week are great, and I really need them. It says write down any resistance, angers, and fears you have from about going on from here. We all have them. Look at your current areas of procrastination. Yeah. It says get a jar to put your fears, resentment, hopes, dreams, and worries into. Interesting. It's called a God jar. Start with your fear list. When worried, remind yourself it's in the jar. God's got it. Then take the next action. Okay, I kind of like that. Now check how. Ooh, yeah. It says, honestly, what would you most like to create? Open-minded, what oddball paths would you dare to try? What, blah, blah, blah. Okay, now and check how. Honestly, what would you most like to create? Open-minded, what oddball paths would you dare to try? Willing, what appearances are you willing to shed to pursue your dream? I'll be vulnerable, but I would want to try being an online comedian, and I kind of already am. Like, if I have jokes, I'm gonna say them. On TikTok, I'll say like some skit ideas and stuff. What appearances are you willing to shed? I think, like, yeah, I don't know. Somebody told me, like, oh, make sure that you're being professional online. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't put any sort of box or like limitation. Like, what does that even mean? There are like a million professions and ways to be professional, I feel like, especially in 2025. So, but I think, yeah, something with that, like being perceived as like very put together and type A and like doing what I'm supposed to, like being a comedian online, being pretty crazy and funny and very out there and like talking about things that people don't talk about. I would like to do. So the appearance of being like, I don't know, well behaved. I don't know. Okay, it says list 5 people you can talk to about your dreams. And then it also says reread this book, share it with a friend. Remember that the miracle is one artist sharing with another. Trust God, trust yourself. Wow. Wow. I'm excited for this. I'm really excited. I think I'm gonna just reread this. I have someone who's going through this, so I think she'll probably... Ooh, there are some other books. Oh, The Artist Way for Parents. Cool. So many books recommendations in the beginning, but I think they're all by the same author. So basically I think I need to leave the house and walk for 2 hours. Basically, I like this microphone. I like a little bit of dimension in the background. I like that I got this dresser. I want to create instead of just being in anxiety, but it's hard. It's getting hotter and hotter in here as the sun comes in. Bringing my energy back to myself still also. And yeah, it's hard to do this sometimes. Like when I'm doing it, it takes so much time and energy. And like I have been doing it. I haven't not been doing it, but it's just like I had a little moment today of like I'm leaving the coast, like that says. And like it seems like without this, I have nothing. That's probably one of my fears, which is so not true. But I'm just like, I'm investing in this. I'm putting my time and energy into it. I'm learning so much. It's super energizing. It's super fun. I'm like meeting a lot of new people, making new connections. And it just means my life is looking different than it has before. And that's scary because you can't have both. And you can't just hop in between. Like it's a boat and I'm journeying over to Europe for the first time from America. So yeah, I might just go back and talk about this book again. Like I might just reread the book, and it'd be cool to keep on talking to you about on YouTube about what kinds of things keep coming up for me, and like doing the check-in and stuff, because so many, it always asks like what issues in creative recovery came up for you, and there's always a lot. I don't know if I want to do the Stairmaster today. I guess I could walk to the gym, do the Stairmaster, and then walk on the beach. I might do that. Now that's an idea. I like my AirPods. I listened to, yeah, it's hard to listen to your body and give it what it needs. But I think a long walk would be good for me. It is nice to have. It's nice to have this space to talk. And express and everything. And create from an authentic place. That's all I'm trying to do. Just be me. I am who I am. I love these things. I pulled them out just for this. And of course, I'm not really showing them. It's going to be a great day. It's going to be a great evening. I'm feeling so much better than I was. My head isn't hurting again anymore. My phone is almost dead. I might connect it to my computer, or do they airdrop a drop? I haven't used CapCut too much. Okay, yeah, the other reminder that everybody's human, like Chelsea Handler interviewed Paige and Hannah from Giggly Squad, and Hannah had like a pencil in her hand or a pen in her hand the whole time, and Chelsea was like, "Are you taking notes or what?" And she was like scribbling hearts on the side. She was also sweating, like her armpits were so wet. Like they were just at the Met Gala. Like she has a Netflix stand-up special. They have a podcast every week. Like everyone is human and the same, and just like putting themselves out there. If that's something they want to do. So, and yeah, if I've learned anything from this book, it's that like I'm looking up to these female comedians / like people who are very real, authentic, and talking about life and giving advice and working through their own issues at the same time. And that's a sign that I want to do that stuff. And whoever you look up to and want to be like, think about what qualities they have and know that that probably means it's something that you want to do too. So yeah. Thank you for following along, letting me be me. It's like exciting that people are watching. This is quite the journey. But yeah, I need to keep reminding myself like why I'm doing this. And it's because I want to. Like the number one thing is I want to. So like don't hold yourself back from something that you think looks fun, no matter what it is. And then I think, just a new life experience that a lot of people are experiencing. And I want to show other people that like they can do it too if they've thought about it. And yeah, share my story, share some messages that have resonated with me, because usually people, like, you can relate it to your own life too. Or just feel less alone now or in the future, just like I feel when I listen to other people share their stuff, and I see other people when they're new. That has helped me, so that's why I'm showing up like this. Okay, hope you have a great day. I'm getting a little bit hot in here, so I need to open the window and plug my phone in, but thanks for this first episode with my microphone. I hope I see you again soon. Yeah, I'm getting a little bit, starting to feel a little bit weird as I do. I'm around a minute 40. This fluff is so satisfying. I cannot wait to do it with two people. Okay, love ya. This girl needs a walk. Talk to you later.